They say Hitler and me were very much like each other, but we're not. Yeah, I he did a great job for our people to a certain extent. But they became very arrogant to a certain extent. But me and Hitler were like in some ways like I don't get too dirty. See, this is the most dirty I've ever been. A little bit of that cannabis stain on my hand, where I would generally wash it right away. But there's some folks that get extremely dirty. And I was always that type of person. I've been around the general population. More like this gentleman here. He stays clean in his laboratory and generally stays in there most of the time. But I do a little bit of this too, teaching. So I've cleaned up a bit. But look at how dirty his hands are. A little bit dirty. There is not any of these ones, but you see with the general population of men, well, some of them become soldiers, in which the soldiers are fairly clean, but they can get dirty and then they usually wash up and whatnot, like a soldier. Then you have those ones that are extremely filthy, that happen to be roaming around in our general population. Some are disguised as soldiers and whatnot. See, these are soldiers getting nourishment and things. And here's a group. But you see, this one's got a nourishment issue, and this one's slightly undernourished, but he's on it. He's doing pretty good. Like this one's doing pretty good for himself. This one though, to a certain extent, he looks like he's doing all right. Looks like he was doing all right. Some people carry themselves different than others. It would have been something to see, especially those ones under the sky. And I had said something about how Hitler and Braun, could have been alive today very easily. And there's rumors that maybe they are, but there's also well, they say it's factual evidence that they had committed suicide on that couch out of fear. Maybe the bombs scared Eva Braun. She talked Hitler into doing it. Scared them. They got weakened. But I said very well they could have probably got they because their soldiers picked their dead bodies up and whatnot and roamed around and everybody was fine. A lot of them moved on. They almost gave up in the fight, they say, which made me cry when I first seen it. But the couch there actually, that's the couch. They say that Hitler and his wife committed suicide at. Right near the outside of the well, it seemed like around that time it was sort of everybody was still loyal to the party, but it was every man for themselves, and just how it always has been. And it wasn't time for embellishment of Hitler of being the leader. And people knew it was time for Hitler and Eva to rise to leadership and get out of there, whatever, and get out of there and figure out what they were going to do. Who knows? Maybe the men's were turning on them and they started picking on them or whatnot. Who knows? It was a dog eat dog world. I would have never tried to put myself in that position, but who knows? Look at this. What are you supposed to do when buildings around you are on fire, being attacked from the sky and whatnot? I don't know what to think of it, but that is a scary sight. Seeing somebody being attacked or getting attacked from the sky, I would never want to see it. And I've seen many war videos like the ones with the missiles. Missiles are one thing too, and then imagine aircraft just raining hellfire upon you. Even just being a regular German citizen, you have to be. I mean, your government was a certain government, and the other ones came in and just wiped them right out to a certain extent. But I think that Hitler could have fled. He could have fled. The death of Himmler. Mark Felton Productions once again. It seems like Mark Felton's the head of these topics on YouTube. And I don't know my stuff at all. All I can do is try to learn from a guy like him. Mark Felton Productions. Tony Blair's Knighthood, Historian's Perspective. Micro-militaries, Europe's Tiniest Armies. World War II's Forgotten First Battle. The Death of Himmler, like we went over. He's got many episodes. 1, 2, and 3. I'd say one of his favorite topics would have to be the German topic. Or at least the most popular. Soviet, Japanese, everything to do with history. War history. He's speaking of war history. Bobby Yar Massacre. Bobby Yar Massacre. He looks almost like a Felton though, a little bit. Anyways, but one thing I was saying earlier is like I'm past the whole you look like this person and all that. I'm saying like everybody's born like a pigeon. Pigeons look the same too. All the pigeons, they look the same too. You see a group of pigeons. Are we getting to that point where everybody's like a little pigeon? No, because we're so diverse now that there's not a bunch of pigeons running around. But I got to know that different too because with humans, I noticed there's certain pigeons in one area and then certain pigeons in another coming out of one area, certain pigeons coming out of another. And I happen to come out of one breeding area of the certain kind. I notice Toronto's filled with certain breeded ones that are not the same breed or whatnot. But the area I'm in is relatively the same breed now. But I remember this one area down 50 miles south of me. They were a breeding area for just people just like me. It was like kind of weird. They're coming out of there. Ones that look just like me or whatever. With the whatnot. Anyways. But once they find out your breeding areas, that can be scary, even as humans. Other races and whatnot. Like I heard one person say, "You're like pigeons to us." That basically means like you have a lot of the same complexion and all that all around each other. Like, say it's a Caucasian area, all white families, right? But they're from the city. It's not all white families. You're almost like a little breed. You're like a commune breeding area of a certain race to these certain ones. You got to watch for that. And I learned that. I came and learned that and seen it, and now I'm here to listen to the back and forth between the ones that actually can harm each other. I just sit back as a messenger. So you say I'm like Jesus. Jesus was a messenger. So the message has been sent and the kings have been talking. But the kings have been talking about each other. Well, I heard one king, he's not talking about anything about me. He's talking about your breeding areas, not mine. And that's all I can do is relay the messages. Because as you see, I don't do too much. I don't take much action. Anyways, don't let the pigeon catch the cat. Kiss the cat. I take action, but nothing like some of the lengths that certain ones will go to because they have no other way do it legitimately. So they go and they violate the